opening comments from Coach.
Thanks, Brian. Obviously, terrific effort from our guys. Extremely proud of how they battled, specifically that second half defensively and taking care of the ball. I thought the crowd was amazing, that they did a great job. Students were really into it, whether the whiteout made a difference in adding more adrenaline to the building or not, but that's the electricity and noise level we need in this place, and there was definitely a boost for us tonight. So I'm thankful for those guys, everybody that showed up, those that are driving home or got home already. Keep it rolling in terms of that energy level and excitement in the building. But like I mentioned, guys were, I thought the second half dialed in and did a really good job defensively, able to make some shots at the right time, and a terrific job taking care of the ball. And Ethan Happ was Ethan Happ. He was phenomenal. So with that, I'll take questions.
Yeah, Greg, you guys had a number of chances to take the lead before you finally did. What eventually, in your opinion, pushed you guys over the top?
Well, I think, you look at our team, and we have some consistent guys, names you hear all the time, Davison, Trice, Happ, but we've been able to rely on other people. And the other night in Nebraska was Charlie Thomas. Tonight is Aline Ford. Gave us a huge boost. And I knew, with them being in foul trouble and going small, we had to go small. They went zone. I wanted to be more mobile and have more shooters on the floor. So Aline would fit that category. And, he hadn't scored in, in 3 games, or about that. Am I right? So for him to come in and, miss his first couple, and then, keep firing away and stay confident. He looked over at me once after he missed the shot. I said, well, stop looking at me. I'm not shooting it for you. Keep firing them. They're good ones. And so for him to give us a boost like that, and I thought Brevin Pritzel did some good things too. Kobe King did some good things defensively in the second half after he turned it up a little bit in the second half defensively. He was better. We were a little too casual the first half and let them get comfortable from 3. I think we were so concerned about the post with Fernando and Smith that we were squeezing so much, and we were not near aggressive enough coming back out on shooters and putting pressure on the ball. We were better in the second half with that. So, but again, going back to your question, Jeff, just the contributions from different people, different night. And tonight, Aline was big for us.
Coach, you mentioned Aline. How big has it been for him, even when his shot's off, to be making contributions? Like, he grabbed a few rebounds, forced to travel tonight. And how did his offensive performance push you guys over the top in the second half?
Well, there's ways you can impact the game with other than shooting or scoring. And I thought the offensive rebound, the tip in, even though that's scoring, but the activity level, he's constantly trying to get better. And he's got a long ways to go. There's a lot of things he can improve upon. But when he's able to make shots, he shoots it pretty well. He shoots it really well in our drills. For him, it's just a matter of confidence growing, and he's got to continue to build upon that and continue to take steps forward in all phases of his game. But I think getting on the offensive glass and then a defensive stop where he can force the travel, that gives confidence. That all is interlocked with what happens on offense. It's not always about making shots in terms of gaining confidence. You can make other energy-giving plays for your team, and those were 2 of them.
Yeah, Greg, the free throw numbers obviously flipped this game from the first game you guys met, but I'm just curious what you guys were able to do against Colin tonight that you weren't able to do at their place.
I think we were better for the most part in the ball screens, and we were better at giving him some resistance, and we didn't foul. We fouled too much at Maryland, and I think we did a better job for the most part of not settling for jump shots, and we were able to attack the rim and draw fouls, specifically at the start of that second half. We're out there. We went through the first half very jump shot happy, which got us all mixed up, and allowed them to jump out to that big lead.
Coach Demetric Trice got off to a bit of a rough start. You got after him a little bit, but he came off the bench, hit a 3, and then hit that big shot at the end to kind of put the game away. What does it say about him that he's able to turn those negatives into positives and really lead this team down the stretch?
Well, he can bounce back. I mean, it's, when he turned it over twice in the first half, and we talked about that. He didn't talk, I talked. on the bench about that, and he did a better job. When we go the whole second half and don't have a turnover against a team that athletic, and I mean, that's a pretty good sign. And for a point guard to come back and have a couple of bad decisions and then play the next 30 minutes, whatever it was, 25 minutes, and not have a turnover and make some shots. You know, he's growing as a point guard. He's not perfect yet, but he's taken steps in terms of understanding how important other components of the game other than shooting and scoring are, and he's a bounced back from, you know, a couple bad possessions. So it's a credit to him to keep coming back and persevering.
Craig, in these 5 wins, well, you know, you battled yourself back into the mix here in the conference. What is this team showing you in those wins, especially after that stretch early in January?
Well, I think they've, number one, the grittiness of this group, even when we lost games, that the fight and the willpower has always been really high. But I think this group is starting to understand and embrace, not that they didn't understand and appreciate the defensive end, but they really dialed it up defensively. And the first half wasn't great. Second half was much better when they held it below 1 point per possession. But I think they understand how important that is and that edge that they have to play with on that end. Knowing that there's going to be times you're not going to shoot the ball exceptionally well, that you can always rely on your defense. So I think there's been they've taken that up a level or two, and then we've done a better job for the most part taking care of the ball and making some shots at key times. But I think there's a maturity that has grown within them in terms of how good they can be defensively, and they've accepted that challenge and are really embracing that.
Coach, the team led for less than 6 minutes tonight, and it seems like there's been a lot of games where there's been wins pulled out after not leading that much. I remember the NC State game was kind of like that. How do you keep a team relaxed when they're kind of constantly 4 or 6 points behind and the game isn't really maybe going the way that they're wanting to up to that point at least?
Just keep playing possession by possession. That's all we talk about. You know, it's a 4-minute game. It was tonight. Somebody mentioned in the huddle, it was 10 minutes ago, we were in a timeout. We got a 10-minute game. Maybe I think it was tied with 10 minutes ago. It's one possession at a time. You know, when we were at Maryland battling back, it was never about trying to get a 20-point possession or a 15-point possession. Let's one possession at a time, chip away. And the same thing when you have a lead. It's one possession at a time. You try to extend that lead. Get a stop on the defensive end. Get the best shot you can. So you don't get too consumed with anything more than the present, and that's the possession we're headed into next.
Greg, you seem to make some adjustments, getting open looks against their zone after a couple of possessions. What did you do, and also getting shots out of it? You got a couple of those out of dead balls. What was the difference in those?
I think we did a better job of we got too spread out. We had too many guys on the perimeter early when they went to it. So we needed to get more than just half inside and put more pressure on the rim. So I thought we did a better job. And then the people on the perimeter, when we did touch Ethan, we stood a lot early, and we stood next to the defender in our area. We moved a little bit better, tried to talk about finding the eyes of the passer, make him get in an alley where he can find you, and we did a better job of that. And then obviously you got to make shots, or none of that all that gets thrown out. So we were able to get our feet set. Ethan and others delivered, and we were able to make shots.
Yeah. Greg, you talked early that you thought Ford was doing some things in preseason more than just shooting threes. Are you starting to see that in snippets now with the activity on the glass, the tipping, the post-up move where you had that little push shot? Are those some things you were talking about?
Yeah. He's been the last 2-3 days. I've seen more of that, more aggressiveness, more confidence starting to come. I thought he was good before Nebraska, and then he didn't. Really didn't do much in Nebraska. But that's he's still learning, he's still growing, and just keep being persistent, and pushing, and demanding as coaching staff, and asking him to get better. And he's, like I said, tonight was a little bit of a snippet of what I think he can be and what we saw before he got hurt.
Anything else, Coach?
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Greg.